What's going on, everyone? Souls Guy here, and today I want to talk about build optimization for low-level invasions. And also a little bit of a invasion commentary. I wanted to get warmth on this build, so I'm doing Mound Makers. And this is just some of the best invasions from the series of invasions, trying to get the Vertebra Shackles. So, getting right into it, this build is level 25 with 1300 health. I'm using the raw Mailbreaker, the raw Astora Straight Sword, the heavy crossbow, and the Elkhorn Round Shield, all +3. This was a deprived starter, so I put 15 levels into Vigor, 5 into Endurance, 2 into Dexterity, and 2 into Faith. I highly recommend using the Prisoner's Chain. It gives you an additional 15 levels, 5 into Vigor, Endurance, and Vitality. As far as optimization goes, I would say there's not one point on this build that's wasted, and there's not one point that's not significantly impacting the build in a positive way. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, when you're a low level build, your stats are much more important than when you're a higher level build because your stats are thinner. You have to spread them out more in order to do more. So, quality build at 120 might be the best, but if you try to go quality at low level, you'd find out real quick that you're not going to get that good damage because you're not close to 40/40. Okay? So, if you try to do quality on level 25, it would be rough. Your stats would be spread incredibly thin if you're trying to get any real damage out of the weapon. So the raw infusion basically is going to be your best bet, or at least just strength or just dex. So you only have to focus on one stat. Now see, with this raw infusion setup, we have eliminated the strength index and just meet the bare requirements of the weapon and use the raw infusion to gain damage without scaling. So that's optimized, in my opinion, for low level. It's as optimal as you could pretty much get, besides like the Dark Hand. The Dark Hand does a lot of damage, but the Dark Hand has a bad move set, and in my opinion, against like two people with a straight sword, fairly useless. You could parry them and riposte them with the Dark Hand, but you could also just use the raw Mailbreaker +3, and it's going to do more riposte damage. So using this optimized invasion build, I was going to go ahead and farm for the Mound Makers so I can get warmth, because warmth would be a great addition to the build. I, however, did not know that you need such a high faith requirement to use warmth, so it ended up not working out, but these are the invasions from that nevertheless. And I would say I needed, I think, 30 vertebra shackles, and I had to invade, I think, 34 worlds, right? One was a disconnect, so I killed the guy and he disconnected, so I didn't get my vertebra shackle. And the other three losses came from 3v1s that involved two people spamming me while one person was shooting me with a magic or fireballs or a bow and arrow or something. And in those situations, 3 Estus, you can just make mistakes. But against all the other 3v1s, all the password summons, all of the dark moons, a couple 4v1s in there, I could just hold my own. The R1 from the straight sword with that damage potential was very, very successful. I rarely was outplayed. I'm quite skilled at the game. I'm obviously by no means the best at the game, but I know what I'm doing. And with this setup, I basically couldn't lose a lot of the time. Like, if I made so many mistakes in such a short period of time, um, I usually had enough health to escape and heal, and then I'm back at a health where I can do massive damage, and then just kind of play the ranged game with the straight sword and just space attacks and punish until they ran out of Estus and just finish them off with a roll catch. As long as you keep the pressure on with the straight sword, even if somebody heals on you, you just two-hit combo them, wait for them to roll, catch their roll, and two-hit combo them again. It's very, very basic, and you could even incorporate like the Knight Shield or another larger shield, as long as you're pretty mindful of your stamina and how much stamina you're losing on attacks. And you can really survive some dangerous situations against multiple phantoms. Now this dude is just spamming R1 with no stamina left, right? He got a little bit there because I spammed him back, but the damage that he's doing with his weapon versus the damage I'm doing with mine and the difference in health, we could just R1 trade right here and he's gonna die. So I gave him a little wave, trying to tell him like, just take a second. You don't need to be so aggressive. I'm not nearly as mean against a solo host as I am 3 phantoms at once. I'll R1 spam. I'll catch the parry from stagger. I'll do whatever it takes against a 3v1. But the 1v1 with this weapon, it feels a little bit bad, even though the host has every advantage in the game. A 1v1 with this weapon, they're at a severe disadvantage if their build isn't as optimized as yours, right? And then punishing the parry spam there, just such a garbage tactic in my opinion. Gave him a little mock parry. You saw how he swung 2 times into the shield. That's never good. And we'll see that come back later. And he's already healed on me. Now, one thing that the curved greatswords do have is this very good hyper armor, but they're slow, in my opinion. The running R1 is the only attack that's reliably going to hit somebody, and even then, it's just okay. But we'll just piece him up right here with some roll catches. The straight sword R1s are so good. I don't like the two-handed moveset as much, but it can be useful, especially the guard break move. See, easy punishes, just space and R1. There goes the second heal. Give him a little taunt. Now, I'm about to show you guys something else you might not know about. I mean, I've seen a lot of people attempt to do it, but there's actually kind of a timing to do it. I'm going to parry this guy right here because you see he loves to R1 2 times, and he's not afraid to do it into the shield. Alright, set up parry. And you see I'm not using the Hornet Ring. I don't think at all in these invasions, and I'm still doing quite well. That charged R2 roll catch. You wait for them to go down, and I don't know the approximate frames, but you just wait a second, not even like a whole second obviously, but just a little delay, and then fully charge the R2, and if they roll directly away from you, it's a very good roll catch, and it'll do like 250 damage sometimes, and down on this low level, that's great. Now right here it was 3 people, so I just walked up behind him and kind of spammed the shit out of him. And they went down. I need my vertebra shackles, though. No room for honor here. But yeah, this fight right here, this was a 4v1 that was just entirely too long to fit into the video, so I had to cut a lot of that out. And this guy's doing a pretty good job of keeping away from me and trying to utilize his full range, but unfortunately, that roll backstab is a true punish to that. And the R2 catch, R1 roll catch, good game. But yeah, as long as what I just did right there, if you just set that up again and again and again, and you're patient enough not to make mistakes and to really assess the danger or the time you want to actually swing, it's very hard to lose. I honestly found myself in so many positions where on my other builds, I would have just got totally trashed. I would not have had the survivability. I would have just got demolished. But on this one, you just tank it all and dish out more than you tank. 232 on an R1. That guy's doing pretty good damage with his axe. He's also a password summon, so it's probably a little bit higher level. Yeah, he's scaled down, so he's higher level. Now you see right there, I interrupted him, and I didn't just do 2 R1s. I don't even know how many I did, but I did a lot because these dudes were real spam heavy. And they usually are going to spam at the same time and try to just, do as much damage as they possibly can. But you see, I pieced this dude up time and time again, and he's just going to keep healing. Stopping his R1s, spacing them. Now the host is going to run around. This is one thing you always want to do when you're invading and you're fighting more than one person, is maintain that view of all of the targets as often as you can. Whether that means back up into an area that will funnel them towards you so you can see them all. You definitely don't want to lose sight and have somebody R1 you in the back. Then you roll and you get caught by them, like right here, that spam of doom. That's not good. See, I took a little bit of damage there. And that's about it for this build, guys. I hope you understood my small talk on optimization, how it gives you a bigger advantage. Because in this game, you know, all the things stacked against the invader, you need some advantages. Because at the end of the day, invading is about fucking people's worlds up. Doesn't matter if it's co-opers, it doesn't matter if it's the lone host. You are here to kill them and screw their game up. So enjoy the build, guys. Definitely try it out. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm Dark Souls Guy. Have yourself a good day.